I have with me a candidate of the BJP and also a cabinet minister in the Yogi government, Mr. Jitin Prasad. Thank you very much, Mr. Prasad, for joining us. My first question to you is, in your constituency, this has been your home constituency even before you joined the BJP, how's the contest shaping up?
No, I can tell you that apart from my home constituency of Shahjahanpur, where I was MP at one point of time, I've been travelling across UP, and I can see there is an undercurrent in favour of the BJP. People are ready to vote for the change that they've seen in these 5 years, of specifically with regard to law and order and development, which is very much visible on the ground. Apart from the big ticket items of infrastructure of highways and airports, at the ground level, at the village level, you see there's toilets, there's housing, and there's food grain available to the people during these corona times. So those are going in a long way to, you know, where they're seeing that the intended beneficiary is actually reaping the benefits which wasn't there earlier.
And is this the reason why you call this an undercurrent? Because if you look at the campaigns of Akhilesh Yadav, he seems pretty confident even after phase number 1 that the vote may have shifted completely. I mean, this monolithic form of voting that happened in favour of the BJP in 2017, he's confident is not going to happen this time around.
No, he's sadly mistaken, because you know, when we are travelling on the ground, you're not just being going on to stages and you know, the ruts and speaking from there. But if you're touring in the villages and you're directly interacting with the people, that's when you really get to know the sentiment of the people. And I'm sure you will be doing the same, and you'll get to know that there's a surge in favour of the BJP, and they're very much happy with the way the things have moved in these 5 years as far as UP goes. At one point of time, in UP, nobody wanted to invest a single penny in this place because it's environment friendly. It wasn't environment friendly. Law and order was the problem. And there was you know, a fear factor. Starting from the government onwards, when the Samajwadi government was here and earlier. But now it's become a very investment friendly destination.
But Mr. Prasad, do you think that with Yogi Adityanath and your government constantly harping and making this contrast between what UP was according to you pre-2017 and what it has become post-2017 is a reflection of the fact that you don't want to talk about your own work, rather draw a comparison to how UP was before you were?
No, of course you want to compare what it was before and what is now. There weren't any roads and highways before. There's only one expressway. Now there are 5. There weren't any airports in UP. Now there are 5 or 6 airports in UP. At one point in time, there were only 45,000 houses, Awas, in the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana that were built in 5 years of the Samajwadi government, and now they are about 50 lakhs. So that's visible, no? So you have to compare what it was previously and what it is now. So it's not about hiding facts. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about showcasing facts, what the BJP is doing.
Do you think that development alone will help you power through? Or, as the opposition alleges, the Samajwadi party alleges, that you use, or the BJP uses, diversionary tactics by talking about, you know, a Hindu-Muslim fault line. For instance, the Chief Minister just a day ahead, or in fact on the day of polling, makes a statement that makes sure that UP does not become Kerala, Bengal and Kashmir.
No. See, Samajwadi has no issue left in this election. And the BJP, I can tell you with full commitment, is you know, development is their agenda. Before the code of conduct kicked in, you saw the Prime Minister travelling the length and breadth of UP, inaugurating expressways and universities. You saw the CM doing development projects. You saw the Home Minister. Everybody was on the ground and trying to ensure that the development agenda of the BJP and the works that they have completed, they were inaugurated, and the works they want to do for the next 5 years, they were also kick-started.
And yet the allegation that the BJP tries to, you know, make statements that will be communally surcharged.
Let me tell you, the people of cannot be taken for granted, and they are very sharp and they understand everything. So this is a propaganda of the opposition, where they want to divert issues and point fingers at the BJP. But BJP is very clear. It's going with its policies and programs. It's very open about it. And that's what the agenda is. That you start from bottom up. and not top down. Apart from the big ticket items, I said there's work happening on the village level, and people are seeing. Firstly, the program and the policy is reaching the intended beneficiary. That's so important, because it used to get lost midway. There used to be earlier governments used to have these big programs and announcements, but it never went to the the people who it was meant for. So there's a governance now. There is a fear factor that if you do wrong, you will be punished no matter who you are and what you are. There is a check and balance, starting from people from the political fraternity also. You can't go overboard, you can't cross the line. And of course the agenda of law and order, where you've seen there's been a crackdown on criminals in Uttar Pradesh, is very much visible, and people appreciating it.
How do you, my final question, how do you rate your opponents, number one, the Samajwadi Party, in terms of the contest that they're putting up, the BSP and the Congress Party, your old party?
No, I am not here to judge anybody. I can only tell you about...
No, but your assessment on in your constituency.
My assessment is very clear. It's BJP all the way, and the opposition will not stand anywhere. You club all these three parties together also, they're fighting separately, they still won't make a dent on the BJP.
No, so this will be at the back of the strength of the candidates, or at the back of the strength of the top leaders? Because BJP is considered a very top heavy party, that the real campaigners and the faces are at the top, and people contesting are completely clouded or shrouded over the tall personality.
No, not exactly. Of course we have tall leaders, and the leadership drives the momentum which the BJP gets, but there is a battery of workers, selfless workers, who believe in the policies and the programs of the party, and especially national interest is supreme. So those people on the ground, and of course the candidate selection, the background checks, the representation that they bring to the table.
And yet there are allegations that there are an increasingly high number of candidates with criminal backgrounds. Such was the allegation by Akhilesh Yadav.
No, he should check about, and he's the party with the criminal, badge on him, and perception and reality. As far as BJP is concerned, it's very clear. You see, in the Yogi government has taken a crackdown and zero tolerance on crime and corruption, and it's very much visible. You see that under the BJP, you are not seeing that kind of Gunda Raj which was earlier during the Samajwadi regime.
All right, Mr. Jitin Prasad, thank you very much for your time.